Thursday morning. So today is our day for Avadhuta Gita. So let's do the prayers first. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parbrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhubhuva Swaha, Tatsavitra Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Asto Ma Satgamya, Tamso Ma Jyotirgamya, Mrityurma Amritam Gamya. Om Sahna Bhavatu, Sahna Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karvavahi, Tejasvi Navaditamastu, Ma Vidvishavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. So we are on verse number 9 on chapter 1 of this book. Manaha ve gagan akaram. Manaha ve sarvat mukham. Manaha atitam, manaha sarvam, na manaha paramarthata. Man is, as you all know, mind. Where means indeed. Gagan is a sky or space. Akaram, form. Again, man is mind. Where means indeed. See, whenever you want to, in Sanskrit, you want to put an emphasis on something, they put the word where. So it's called a particle of emphasis. Sarvat, all directions. Mukham, face. Again, man is mind. Atitam, beyond. And sometimes atit word is used for past also. Atit. Sarvam, all. Na means not. Man is mind. Paramartha. Paramarthata. Reality. The supreme truth. So this great teacher is saying, truly the mind is like space. It seems to face in all directions. It seems to transcend everything. Like beyond everything. It seems to be everything. But in reality, mind does not exist. So in the absolute sense, mind doesn't exist. Because it's part of the Prakriti. So anything which is part of the Prakriti is temporary. It's false. It's a Maya. It's illusion. So he says, even though it seems so big and so powerful, seems like it's in every direction, it can reach the places. Sitting over here, our mind can go on the other side of the globe, or into the stars and the moons and the sun also. Mind can go there. So powerful. But in reality, it doesn't exist. There is Upanishad, the Brihad Aryanak Upanishad. Over there, the Rishi defined the mind. He said, desire, resolve, doubt, faith, want of faith, steadiness, unsteadiness, shame, intelligence, and fear. All these are but the mind. And we know none of this has any substance. So that's why this great teacher of Avadhuta is telling us that. Okay. So in other words, when we look at mind as an object, we can control the mind. That's what we have to learn. That's what we need to practice. Mind is an object, not the subject. We just think that we are the mind. And that's where the problem starts. Then he says, Aham ekam idam sarvam vyom atitam nirantaram pashyami katham atmanam pratyaksham va tirohitam. Aham, I am. Ekam, one. Idam means this. Sarvam, all. Vyom, space or sky. Atitam, beyond or subtler. Atit. Nirantaram, continuous. Pashyami, I see. Katham, how. Atmanam, the self. Pratyaksham, manifest, visible. Va means or. Tirohitam, hidden. I am one. So this I is the Atma. I am one. And in everything, I am unbounded. And beyond space, even though space seems so big, I am even beyond space. How can I see my own self appearing or disappearing? Appearing or disappearing means taking birth and dying. He says, I don't. I am everywhere. I'm all one. So he's talking all this from that experience where he is. And we all need to experience this. That's why we are studying it. Then he says, Tvam evam ekam hi katham na buddhyase samam hi sarveshu vimrishtam avyam sada uditaha asi tvam akhanditaha prabho divacha naktam cha katham hi manyase. Tvam means you, evam means thus, ekam one, he surely, katham why, na means not, buddhya say, understand, samam, same, like equally, same. He means surely, sarveshu in all things. Vimrishtam perceived. Avyam indestructible, like unchangeable. Avyam. Sada eternally. Udita proclaimed. Asi means are, Tvam means you. Akhandita, undivided. See, khand is when you break something. Akhand, not broken. Undivided or indivisible. Prabho, O Lord. Diva, by day. Naktam, night. Cha means and. Katham means how. He means surely. Manyase means think. So he says, why do you not understand? You are truly that absolute one. Because there's only one, and that's what you are. He says, why don't you understand? You are that eternal Atma, reflecting all equally. You are the unrefuted Lord, Prabhu, and ever shining. Then how can you think of day or night? Day means the light, night means the darkness. So you, all of us, we are Brahma. I am Brahma. This is a Vedic dictum. Sometimes the words are different, but the meaning is the same. In the previous verse, Dattatreya described his identity with the Atma. And here he is trying to convince his disciples that the disciple also is Atma. So it's not only a guru is the Atma and Brahma, the disciples are also Brahma. That's what he's saying, that Tvam evam ekam. He katham na buddhyase. So don't think that you are different. You are the same. And day and night really means, see, these are to convey, there's multiple meanings when they say day and night in the scriptures. It could signify the day of universal manifestation. That's a day when it manifests. And night of dissolution. So darkness. Or simply the daylight and the darkness at night. So it could be complete manifestation and dissolution, or it could be a regular day and night. So he's making a point that these alterations do not affect Brahma. That's what he's saying. It could be the life and the death also. Whether we are born or when we die, let go of this body, we are still the same. There's no change in the Atma at all. So self is always same regardless of the outer appearance or disappearance of the world. Okay, so at large also, so whether it's a macrocosm or microcosm, both they are the same. No effect on the Atma, no effect on Brahma. Since Atma is no different than Brahma. Everybody's Atma, not just the Guru's Atma, everybody. It's only one. Okay. आत्मनं सतं विधि सर्वत्र एकं निरन्तरम् अहं ध्याता परम ध्येयं खंडम खंड्यते कथम. Atmanam, the self. Sattam, eternal. Vidhi. Vidhi means no. Sarvatra, everywhere. Ekam, oneness. Nirantaram, eternal, like a perpetual. Nirantar. Aham, I am. Dhyata, meditator. Param, supreme. Dhyayam, object of meditation. So dhyata, dhyaya, dhyan. These terms should be clear to us. So dhyata is the meditator. Dhya is the object of meditation. Okay. Akhandam, indivisible. Khandyate, divide. Katham means how. So he's putting a little warning for us over here. He says, be aware of the Atma always. It is continuous and everywhere the same. You say, I am he who meditates, and the Supreme One is the object of meditation. Why do you divide the indivisible? Because it's one. If Atma is part of Brahma, there's no difference, there's only one. So he's talking like this from that higher state, the absolute state. The similar message we got in the Ashtavakra Gita too. So divide the indivisible. So in Samadhi, the meditator, meditation, and the object of meditation, all of them become one. See, I always tell you when you start out, there are three. There's an object of meditation, there's a effort which we make to meditate, and we know that we are meditating. Three things. So when you're in Samadhi, awareness about yourself drops down. You have merged with the absolute. Okay, so merging has happened, and then there's no process either. There's no meditation. So in that sense, he's saying the Supreme One is the object of meditation. Why do you thus divide the indivisible? It cannot be divided. Na jato na mrito asi tvam nate deha kadachana sarvam brahmiti vikhyatam braviti bahuda shruti. Na means not jatah, born. Mrita, died. Asi means are. Tvam means you. Na means not. Te means you. Deha, body. Kadachan, ever. Sarvam, all. Brahma, that absolute reality, Brahm. Iti, in this way. Vikhyatam, famous or generally known, Vikhyat. Braviti says, Bahuda, in many ways. Shruti, Shruti is the knowledge. Knowledge which came from Upanishads, the Vedas. That's called Shruti. Direct knowledge. You were never born and you will never die. You have never had a body. The Upanishads declare in many different ways this truth. All is Brahma. All is Brahma. See, the death which we are constantly afraid of, constantly. Our death, our loved one's death. So this great yogi is telling us, you were never born and you'll never die. See, identification with the real, identification with the Atma. This is where he's taking us. See, there are two kinds of scriptures. And first kind is the Shruti, and that's what he's mentioning over here. Because the Shruti was revealed to the seers of truth, which have been handed down from Guru to the disciple. First through the oral tradition, then sure, it came into the written form also. Shruti. And second is Samriti, that is man-made scriptural laws. So the Upanishads belong to the first category. That's why he has mentioned Shruti here. Then Upanishads are generally found towards the end of the Vedas. Okay? And that's another reason they're called Vedanta also, end of Veda. Okay? So let's look at next one. Sa bahe abhyantar asi tum shivaha sarvatra sarvada ita tatah katham bhrantah pradhavasi pishachvat. Sa means he. Bahe, external. Abhyantar, interior or inner. Asi means or. Tvam means you. Shiva, bliss, auspicious one. Shiva. Sarvatra, everywhere. Sarvada, at all times. Itaha, here. Tataha, from that point. Katham means how. Bhrantaha, perplexed. Pradhav, pradhavasi, you run forth. Pishachvat, like a ghost. You are always present within as well as without. Bahe also, antar also. Sometimes we think Atma is over here. He says you are always present because there's only one. We have limited ourselves. So you are always present within as well as without. You are that supreme beatitude, always and everywhere. Then he puts a question over here to us. So he says, why do you run here and there like a confused ghost? So he's saying, calm down. Because we have forgotten our real nature. We have not only forgotten our real nature, we have forgotten what God is too. We have divided God also. So what he says, there's only one. Reality is only one, and you are it. Don't act like a ghost. Don't run here and there, confused. Okay? So when we sit down to meditate, we contemplate on this. Few minutes a day, every day. Look within. Try to know yourself. All our life we have spent so much time, so much energy, so much effort to know others. Sometimes objects, sometimes people, sometimes situations. But we owe it to ourselves that, hey, we need to know ourselves. Only as human beings we can do that. Know ourselves. Okay? The churning mind. Pishachvat is what? That is a mind which is running everywhere. Body cannot run all the places, but mind does. So control that mind of yours. You are not the mind. Okay? Then he says in number 15, Sayog cha viyog cha vartate na cha te na me Na tvam, na aham jagat, na idam sarvam atma eva kevalam. I've been telling you that this scripture is written in a very simple language. Very simple language. Why did he write in a simple language? So that we can understand it. And after understanding, we contemplate on it, reflect upon it, and then practice it. That's why it's written in a simple language. Anybody who knows Hindi can understand this simple Sanskrit. Sanyog. Sanyog means union. Cha means and. Viyog, separation. See, Sanyog and Viyog, opposite of each other. See, union is oneness and Viyog is a division. Cha means and, vartate, exist. Na means not, cha means and, te means you, again na not, may means me. Tvam you, aham I, jagat the world, idam this, sarvam all, atma self. Ev means really, kevalam alone. Each and every word is very simple in this verse. For you and me, there can be neither union nor separation. Union can happen only when there are two. And separation is not possible because there is only one. So for you and me, there can be neither union nor separation. In reality, neither you nor I nor this world exists. The Atma alone abides. Okay? The only reality is Brahma, and we are part of it. That's why Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita said, anybody who grieve is not a wise person. Because why do we grieve? We think something has been taken away from us, somebody. So over the death also, if somebody grieves, he says, it's not a wise person. So you can see that over here. That's why I've been telling you that Bhagavad Gita, studying and walking on the practicing Bhagavad Gita's lessons takes us higher level so that we can practice Ashtavakra Gita's philosophy. Now from there, he is taking us at least intellectually and hopefully experientially also one day. Okay? So Atma alone, Sarva Atma eva kevalam. It's very simple terms. He's just saying it's only Atma here, nothing else. I mean, if we got to look at it, something which doesn't even exist, something which is so temporary, we just make such a big deal out of it. We lose sight of something which is important over something which is insignificant. Number 16. Shabd Adi Panchak Asya Asya na ev asi tvam nate punaha tvam ev paramam tattvam ataha kim paritapyase. Shabad is the sound. Adi, etc. So Shabad Adi. Panchak, 5. Asya, consisting of. Na means not, ev means really, asi means are. Tvam, you, Te means yours. Punaha, again. So next line, Tvam, you. Ev means really. Paramam, supreme. Tattvam, reality. Like essence. What is the essence of us? The Atma, the soul. Tattvam, reality. Ataha, therefore, came why? Paritapya say, you suffer pain and grief. It's kind of a question he is putting to us. Kim, why? You do not belong to the five objects of senses. That's what this Panchak means. Okay, he mentioned the Shabd over here, the sound, but then the other four are touch, form, taste, and smell. The whole world, this objective world, is made out of these five. Panchabhuta. So you do not belong to the five objects of senses, such as sound, touch, form, taste, and smell, nor do they belong to you. Indeed, you are that supreme reality. Why do you grieve? What is the reason? What reason do you have, he says, that you keep on suffering? Whenever we go through suffering, we got to think back, sit back and think about it. What am I crying about? What is the reason I'm suffering? You will have the answer. We don't give enough time to ourselves to know ourselves. Every day there should be some time spent in solitude, reflecting who you are. Get to know yourself. See, in order to know somebody, you got to spend some time. Even worldly relationships, we spend time only then we know them. And over here, we have come here to know ourselves. That's why that famous saying, know thyself. That is the purpose. The next one he says, Janam Mrityu na tehe chitam bandh moksho shubh ashubhav katham rodishi re vats namaharupam na te na me. Janam, birth, mrityu, death. Na means not, te means for you. Chitam, mind. Bandha, bondage. Moksha, liberation. Shubh is virtuous, that means good. Ashubh is evil and non-virtuous. We are familiar with these two terms, Shubh and Ashubh. Katham, how? Rodishi, you weep, you cry. Re means like when we say, oh. Vats, oh child.
It's 11:04 a.m.
Nam, name. Rupam, form. Na means not, te means yours. Me means mine. You have no birth or death. Okay? No memory. Chitam. See, chit is that part of the mind which has the memory. So you have no birth or death, no memory, because memory is not in the soul. Memory is also in the Prakriti. No bondage or liberation, nor have you good or evil. Why do you weep, my dear child? Name and form belong neither to you nor to me. Okay? It's a very deep knowledge, philosophical knowledge he's giving it to us. Again, I would say that this is something we need to experience. We need to experience this while living on this earth, in this body, under these circumstances. Just a little practice every day, you will see the benefit of that. Okay? So, no birth or death, good or evil. Birth and death are connected with the body. We know that. We have seen it. Baby is being born and old people being dying. Birth and death are connected with the body. Bondage and liberation, good and evil, are connected with the mind. And we are not the mind either. So the real nature of us is Atma, which is beyond the body and the mind. So that's what he's trying to convey to us here. And name and form, according to this philosophy, Brahm is one without a second. Sure, it appears to be manifold by the interposition of name and form. And that's what's called Maya. See, the Maya makes us think that there are many. Just like in the ocean, ocean is nothing but ocean water. But then we see the bubbles there, we see the waves there. But we know that wave is or a bubble is no different than the ocean. So the same way the objects of the universe have different forms, different names, but they are not different than Brahma. In Samadhi, when name and form disappear, a person experiences the oneness of the Brahma. That's why on the chart of yoga, you see the goal is Samadhi. Names and forms, it's almost like if you have several pots made out of clay. What is the essence of all the pots? Whether you call it a mug or a glass or a teapot or a pitcher, they're all made out of clay. Essence is the clay. Without clay, they cannot exist. But we just give them different names. The same way the essence of all of us is only Brahma. Okay, and the sad part is we have forgotten the essence and we have gotten so attached to the form, and that's why we talk about liberation and bondage. Otherwise, there's no question. If we can always remember who we are liberated. There was never a bondage because it's only one. What you're going to liberate from there's only one. अहोचित कथम भ्रांता प्रधावसी पिशाचवत अभिन्नम पश्ये च आत्मनम राग त्यागात सुखी भव. Aho means oh. Chit is mind. Katham how. Bhrantaha mistaken. Pradhavasi run forward. Pishach is a ghost. Vat means like. So Pishachvat is like a ghost. Abhin, undifferentiated. Pashye, behold. Cha means and. Atmanam, self. Rag. Rag word is used for attraction, for attachment. Tyagat, renunciation. Sukhi, bhav. Sukhi means happiness, bhav means be. Oh, mind. So he's talking to the mind. Why are you wandering like a restless ghost? Realize that undifferentiated Atma. Give up all craving and be happy. Be happy. Okay? So we got to tell our mind. Here, this great Guru is saying to our minds, we should tell our mind if it just runs away, control it. Why are you running away? Why are you crying? Why are you grieving? Why are you so restless? Let's do one more and we'll stop. त्वमेव तत्वं हि विकार वर्जितम निष्कंप्यम एकम हि विमोक्ष विग्रहम न ते च रागः हि अथवा विरागः कथम हि संतप्यसि काम कामतः. Tvam means you, Ev is really Tattvam, supreme reality, essence. He means indeed vikar, modifications. Varjitam, devoid of. Nishkampam, unwavering. See, kampana is when there is some kind of a fluctuation, and nishkamp means unwavering. Ekam means one, he is indeed vimoksha, liberation. Vigraham, form. Vigraha, form. Na means not, te means you. Cha and ragaha, attraction or attachment. He means therefore, athva or viragaha. See, opposite of rag is virag, aversion. Katham, why? He means therefore, santapyasi, you burn. See, tapna. See, tap is burning. So you burn. Kam means desires. Kam taha, out of sensuality, passion. We talked about this yesterday. That was our topic, calm. So he says, truly, you are that unchanging reality, which is motionless, one, and freedom itself. That's who you are. You do not experience passion or dispassion. So this rag or dvesha is not for the Atma. This is for the mind. So you, in reality, do not experience passion or dispassion. Why then do you torment yourself by desiring objects of lust? I want this, I want to have that. Cannot live without that. Why you want to suffer? So according to this philosophy, Vedantic philosophy, the knower of Brahma becomes Brahma. And that is real freedom. That is liberation. And that's what the goal of our sadhana is. So maybe this doesn't speak to us yet because we haven't done the sadhana enough. Okay, so what we're going to do, because I understand that there's some questions also. So we'll spend just very quick questions there's somebody who said they have a question, but let me finish with the Shanti Mantra, and then we'll go the questions. After the questions, I would like to, there will be meditation. But before meditation, I will do birthday blessings also for one of the students today, okay? So, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Visheshyate Om Shanti 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 Om.